how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim. Welcome to Evening Chat number 2. Yeah, we did it last night. We're going to do it again tonight. But before I do, I want to talk about making my sandwich. I just got back from the store. I'm trying out these dietetic beers here. This is the Stella. It's loaded with nothing. 0.00 volume of alcohol. That's the kind I like. Anyway, should I put my mic on? I'll wash my hands. I bought some ham and cheese. Look at this. I got burger. And then I bought, these are those cowboy burgers, the prime rib burgers I used to make on the grill. And I took them out of the freezer and I put them in the refrigerator. The only problem is, it takes forever and a day to defrost in the refrigerator. That's on the slow deal. Now some of these I bought before, you got to actually use a bottle opener. They'll break your hand trying to get the lid off. These might be twisted off. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see. Yes! No. It's just spinning. But I'm so damn strong from my workout. Yeah, these are pull-offs. Cheers. You know what? That's that Stella. That's the best non-alcoholic beer I've ever drank in my life. That's pretty good. It's going to go good with this Arnold bread right here. So I showed you guys last night or this morning or something like that I bought Raisin Bran. Here I'm thinking of buying something healthy, some fiber and, raisins, and it's not the frosted Raisin Bran, it's just Raisin Bran. I mean, I love it, especially with a banana in it. I just had it without the banana, and I got a comment from a subscriber that enlightened me. There's more sugar in a bowl of Raisin Bran than there is in a bowl of Captain Crunch. I said, well, you kidding me? So I Googled it, and sure enough, it was a 3-pointer right in the trash can. And yeah, it was wasting money. What am I going to do? Give it away? And I'm not going to eat it, so I threw it away. I'd rather lose. I got it for buy one, get one half. And I would rather lose the money than to eat it. And instead of wasting it, and eat it and get bigger than I already am. So I threw it out. Let there be light. Now today, what I do? Let me see. The days all blend into the same because they're kind of repetitive. I did a lot more thinking and talking about a road trip, and I've been reading your comments. Oh yeah, that's all anybody wants. I was talking to a guy that's up in the Villages, and then Johnny Vegas, and we're reminiscing about the videos that we made. Everything is, in hindsight, is cool. I think about in Mississippi, this one subscriber even knew the town in Mississippi where I made the cowboy steak right in the parking lot at Walmart. And people were stopping, saying hi to me, and thought it was something special. We had the generator going. I was charging batteries and doing different things. It was fun. And there was no problem. None whatsoever. And then making breakfast on the galley of the cramper at the rest stops. Some guy thought I was like selling breakfasts or whatever. He stopped, and we were back there on the side, stopping at the videoing at the truck stops, at the Loves, each and every night. And then, of course, I enjoyed myself once I got out there and I landed at the Tropicana, they have a sewer dump and they have water that you can drive over and get, but they had no electric. So it was beautiful during the day. You really didn't need it. And I was out doing stuff. And the camper was only a bed. It was a hard-sided tent is all that was. It didn't have a bathroom in it either, but the casino was open 24 hours a day, and you were welcome to use any of the facilities. Not to mention, I had the Planet Fitness, remember, nationwide. And I would stop and shower every day and work out and make my drive on across the country. And, you know, in hindsight, what I was going to say a minute ago, memories, you know, that I did it. And I did it twice. I came right back, saw the eye doctor, and then sold the cramper to the first guy that looked at it. He couldn't be happier with it. And then we vacated Jacksonville and grabbed the Crasher here and took back off out to Laughlin again. And then that time we stayed at the, we went right back to the Tropicana. It was getting warm. And so I ended up going over to the Riverside Casino RV park where you have full hookups. There was a difference in the price, but I mean, you had to have air conditioning. You got to be the point where I actually had to leave there and go to Cedar City, Utah, where I stayed at the Orchard. Remember, that was the sweetest girl that works there. She hooked me up. We made a couple of videos about it. It was right on the freeway, right off the exit. I could go right down the mountain to St. George, or I could go right on in town another 10 miles to Cedar City, and I played golf. And it was amazing weather compared to down the mountain in St. George, because it was 6,000 feet where I was at. And then as the weather was getting warmer, including Cedar City, I vacated and took a couple of trips to California with a rental car and saw Laguna, San Diego. We got up into Monterey. And we never got over to Big Sur, though, up and down the Pacific Coast Highway, because it was a rock slide. And halfway up, you'd had to turn around and come back, and, you know, vice versa from the top end. But we did see Carmel and walk around where Clint Eastwood's got a place, and that schmancy place. But Monterey, over, I can't, for the name of the two cities escape me now, where we made videos. Maybe you can tell me in the comments that were one just a little bit north of the other. They had that boardwalk, that pier that went out where all the people were shopping. It was busy, and there were restaurants out there. And I made a couple of videos. We were at a really nice restaurant, had fish and chips and this famous conch chowder that's in a, oh, man, the memories are coming back now that I've forgotten already. It was just a few months ago. And those are definitely a good call to go back, because we talk about all the time, folks, that, you know, nobody's promised tomorrow. These are the good old days. Things are changing all the time. You know, live your life. And if you can go and do, don't put off tomorrow what you can do right now. Don't put off next year. You know, make plans if you want for a year from now, but do a lot of stuff till then. Don't let any time go by without living your life. You can wake up, anything can happen. You could have a major dental issue, put you out of the loop for 3 months, where you got to go in and do all kind of stuff. You could have something major. You could feel like, oh, something ain't right. Go to the doctor, and he goes, oh, you got it. And there ain't nothing we can do about it. Or you can develop something that's not life-threatening, but takes you out of the operation for the rest of your life. Or you do have something life-threatening, but it's going to take you 2 years to go to heaven. You're going to have a slow, long, drawn-out. Well, let's just forget all that. That's negative. Let's just say you get to the point where you wasted time. You kept saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then, one day you said, you know what? I don't need to do that. I'm not going to do that. I was talking on the phone and I'll be honest with you. Pulling this camper is a little nerve-wracking. It can swerve a little bit. Cars go by. Truckers, man. Oh, my gosh. And the potholes. You guys remember me complaining about that? Oh, gosh, I forgot about that. I ain't going. The idea, though, of thinking about those things versus the good times I just mentioned, and I can talk myself right out of who needs it? Who needs to spend the money? Deal with the potholes. Worry about the truckers. The days it takes to get there. And, I was trying to hit it kind of hard every day versus really, like Bubba said, go as like a turtle in a shell. Just eventually you'll be out there. Just don't get in any hurry. And that's really good advice. That's what I would do if and when I do it again. But I can probably see how after doing it twice and just recently, and then the long drive back and, part of the country is not so exciting. Other parts are beautiful. The mountains. You got lucky, didn't have auto trouble, didn't have a flat on the trailer or anything. It was, what if something like that? Wrong time of day, weekend, wrong, You can think of all kinds of reasons to say, too scary. And that's what happens. You get a little older or you get a little bit more disconcerting about things. And you won't do anything. You will get old and die one day and say, I should have, though. I should have. And now I have no regrets because, if I go tonight, the good Lord, if he takes me tonight, I've had a good one. I've done a lot. And I haven't done anything. I mean, there's people that have been all over this world. I've never left this country except on a cruise ship at a port. I went to Acapulco once when I was young. And I used to go down to Mexico and surf a lot when I was in San Diego when I was a youngster. But I haven't done any world traveling. I've never been to Europe or Italy or the Mediterranean and a lot of things, Australia and these places that people have traveled to. They have photos and videos. I've seen it on TV. Looks exciting. But I've also been an advocate of people touring our country. That a road trip across country in your car, in your truck, in your RV, or get a room every night, whatever you prefer to do, whatever you can afford. It's about the same. We have a beautiful country right here. There's so many places that so many Americans have never been. I was supposed to go to see a subscriber. He's a good friend of mine. Well, I call him a friend. We've never met, but through YouTube. And he's in Massachusetts. His name is Chip. And, excuse me. I've never been north of Atlanta. I was supposed to go see Ted and Jolene up in New York. And by the way, an update on Ted and Jolene. I've had a few of you ask. I know I don't talk about them much anymore because I don't live over there. And they actually are somewhat private. So I will tell you this, that they are doing absolutely stellar. You remember he had a health issue. He's just as ornery and as New Yorkish as he ever was. And in fact, they've sent me a couple of links on Facebook to some properties that I could have bought where you don't own the land. A lot of these places on these lakes and up there in the upstate area, you can get basically a lifetime or a 15-year, lease. It's a camper on a space, and it has like a wooden screened-in cover over the camper and a front porch that you can go right out the door. Some of them are enclosed, some of them are just screened. All and for nothing. 10, 20 grand, 8 grand, cheap. But there is, just like living in a mobile home park here in Florida or even in Arizona, there's a lot fee, the AC's on, that you got to pay every month. But it was nominal, and I think it was so much a year. And even though you weren't going to be there 6 months because it's snow and ice up there, the dollar cost average annually, and for the 6 months that you can be there with absolutely stellar weather in the summer. This is so far north in New York that it really doesn't get any 90-degree days, I don't think. And it'll run you out of there pretty quick too, come like next month, maybe even right now. They're chilling down pretty good. So they'll be back in South Florida very, very soon. And they are very good and dear friends, and they know from a lot of the comments that I've shared with them, and things that, videos that we made and everything. They were very good at helping me out with my doctor and the place to stay and cooking for me and everything. I mean, they're like family. And of course I'll get over there to see them when they get back, and they're that much closer. But I never got to New York. I never got to Massachusetts. I was going to go out to Vegas, out west somewhere. I don't know where I was going when I left here. Then I was going to work my way to Oregon or something, and then up through the Dakotas or whatever, and come across the top of the country and work my way all the way over to New York or something like that. And then eventually, when it finally gets cool here, which it still isn't, I mean, it's boiling out there today. Boiling. It's hotter now than it was in July. It's nuts here. And eventually I was going to work my way back down here to this. They have been doing this for a while now. They got it made. They leave when it gets hot. They see a few hot days, but they don't see anything like the dog days. And they don't come back until it's freezing them out of there, of New York. And then they're down here, and it's just gorgeous. So, like a lot of snowbirds that come to Florida, they're up in the north in the summer, and they're down here in the most beautiful place you could be in the wintertime. This is the only place in America, the tip of Florida on either the east or west coast, is absolutely amazing. While there's snow and ice and all this stuff all around the country, everywhere, it's perfect here. So another year will come that I'll say, I'm never going to be here another May, June, July, and August. I've been saying that all my life. I got out of here for, a month or two, and I'll come back right in the dog days, man. I mean, but we still got next time. And the good thing is we're not looking, it's not like November or December right now, to where things get really, really cold to travel this country, to get from here to there. There's a good window left to go out there again if that's what I want to do. So we're thinking about it. I'm also, part of my delay, or not really a delay, but just contemplating it, because I just did it, and those things are in my mind now. I am getting older. I am scared. I gotta drive all the way 7 days, 6 days, there and back. That truck can't pass a gas station. I have nowhere to put my slide outs at Love's. I don't want to pay $50 a night at an RV place to just wind up the next morning to leave. And I got to work it all out. I got to get it all in here. And while I realize it'll make good videos, it'll make great fun for me, memories, I'm thinking about it. But what I was going to say, thank you, is I need to talk to this eye doctor. I need to ask him some point blank questions. Is this worth it? Is this going to work? Can I put it off? How What are the results going to be? Why do I need to still take drops if you do this surgery? Which is what he said. I'll still have to do drops. By the way, I'm already about an hour overdue again. Never ends with those things. The rest of your life. So, as you can see, you had a lot of stuff going on. And in the meantime, I almost drove to Clearwater Beach today to see what it looks like. It's very close to here. I think Sarasota is about an hour and a half from Clearwater. And you go across this big skyway, skyline, whatever it is, bridge that goes into St. Pete, where the Tampa airport is down there. And you're right there. And there's a lot of areas around Clearwater, just north of that, other cities, towns that are beachy and that kind of thing that I would like to see myself and share with you guys. And then, of course, we still got the idea of the Keys, you know. I've been down there enough times in my life to where I don't necessarily need to go again. I mean, I've been more than a half a dozen times, but not too many more than that. And after a couple of times, there's not much more you need to go down there for. And when it comes to Key West, the old saying is, you know, Isla Mirada is a mile marker 85. Everything is used as a mile marker, as an address in the Keys. They say, where are you at? Oh, I'm at mile marker 43. You know, that's probably Marathon. Then mile marker 0, the most southerly point in the U.S. So, Isla Mirada, there's 122 miles from Key Largo, just below Miami, to Key West, the Silver Strand. And so you start at 122 mile marker and you get to around 102 or whatever, and that's Largo. And then Florida City, you know, up here is like the last city in the peninsula before you start the Silver Strand, Overseas Highway, it's called, US 1. And Isla Mirada and Marathon and Largo and those places, those are like, got everything you need to see. But if you've never been to Key West, the old saying is you got to go there at least once. Now, Key West, you've heard it all. It's everything you've ever heard of, and it's all the way down there. It's a long drive, but they do have Duval Street with all the shops and T-shirt shops and Sloppy Joe's and all the bars and the drinking and all that. They have Mallory Square. It's where the cruise ship will come in. Mallory Square Sunset Festival every evening, and famous Rick's Bar, and all these things that are worthy of seeing once. And they have one of the largest spectacles on the planet. Oh boy, that's coming up. It's the weekend prior to Halloween, but guess what? They changed it. It's called Fantasy Fest. You talking about wild and crazy. When I was there, 100 years ago for that, it's much, much bigger. You used to be able to go. You can't go now. I think it's booked out at least a year ahead, rooms and stuff. Everybody on the planet goes there. It's a big spectacle. But Fantasy Fest used to be for Halloween. If Halloween wasn't on a weekend, they would celebrate it the weekend before. This was in the early days. You know what they do now? I think it's every weekend of October is Fantasy Fest. They milk it. It's the whole month. You know Oktoberfest, right? The German festivals and stuff all around the country. And that's going to be big up in northern Georgia in Helen. They'll have the Oktoberfest. Hey, next month. That's when I'm supposed to go up there for the apple festivals and the fall leaf changes and all that. You wouldn't even think about that right now outside here. It's so hot. I can't even think. I guess it's probably pretty nice where my daughter lives at night. You know, it's probably got milder temperatures than here. So, man, October's almost here. So we are running out of time. And when January comes, it's cold. It's cold everywhere else in the country. So we will see. When I'm thinking about going there, everybody's going to be coming here. Something's wrong with this picture. But we'll figure it out, and whatever it is, we're going to continue to crush it.